So yeah, we'll just start off there. What's your initial reaction to Usman and Covington, the switch, and the UFC's decision to do that?
I mean, to be honest, I was going to have to fight both of them anyway. So they both was going to get it anyway, but it just depended on the time frame of who I fought when. I thought it made more sense economically for me to fight Colby first, just because he was talking shit and everybody want to see us fight, and there's a lot of history. That's. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
I'm sorry, I got to call him. Yeah, so that's what I thought initially. But obviously, it's not my job to tell the UFC who to book, when to book, and how they want to do their job. So that's their deal. They wanted me to fight Usman first. They just needed to make it worth my while and make it a fight that made sense. And if you look at how this card is shaping up, this card's going to fucking be historical.
So is that because Dana White was saying that both you and Colby were maybe not being the easiest to negotiate with? Was that, from your perspective, what were negotiations like? Was it just a case of Colby was going to earn you more money, so they needed to make up that difference?
I never gave Dana or the UFC any problems with who I was going to fight and how. I just merely asked a question on what their rationale was behind me fighting Usman before fighting Colby. Because if you look at me and Usman, we're highly respectable to each other, very similar in build. I will say he's a version of me, maybe 4 or 5 years back, just getting into it and starting to put everything together. And Colby and I just had that authentic beef. I didn't like him. He don't like me. Political differences. We both fight for the same team, former training partners. And I just thought for the build-up for the fight, the press conference would be freaking epic. So that was just a question I asked. I think they more so wanted someone to step in and fight January 26th. And I just, at that point in time, I wasn't 100% clear to fight yet, and that's probably what Dana White was saying. Because some fighters do say, I know Connor's one of those guys that's fought with injuries, and other guys have, done that, but those guys have also put themselves in a different position economically. And if they lose a fight here and there, then are we really not going to watch Connor fight or somebody else? You know what I mean? So they got rewarded for taking those risks. And I just feel like my goal is to be the GOAT, and as long as I can continue to beat people up and win fights, then I'll capitalize on it.
What's your relationship like with the UFC at the moment? Because some people always it's almost like Dana doesn't want you to be the champion, and maybe he's picking Usman because he thinks he's got a better chance than Colby. Do you feel that way? But what's your opinion on your relationship with the UFC?
I mean, for the first time ever, I've heard them say that as far as a fighter, Usman is a better fighter. It's a more challenging matchup, but that's never really been the rubric. Here as of late with the UFC, it's been who's the bigger draw, who's a more entertaining press conference. So it just to me is like traditionally I consistently am in a spot where I'm fighting the number one contender. I'm fighting the toughest fight, and it's not the mega fights, it's not the super fights, it's not doubling up on the straps. It's just me fighting the guy that's that everybody want to watch. So I didn't really have an issue. I just wanted to be able to heal properly. I feel like if I'm fought 4 times a year, healthy and world title shit fights, and I get injured and I come back and fight, then I should be given that that time to heal. And I mean, we're good. I talked to Dana, I talked to everybody, and I think moving forward, the business relationship, it makes more sense. I think there's a lot of miscommunication, and I feel like the bulk of that is ironed out.
That's good, because at one point it was like Dana was saying it's going to be Usman versus someone for the title, and then that sort of was almost a suggestion he could strip you, but you don't feel like that's the case.
I mean, I think he's just trying to flex his chest, but I don't think in real life it makes sense to have Usman fight. Nobody want to watch Usman unless I'm in Octagon, to be honest. Do they want to just watch Usman fight anybody? Is he the draw? Is he the main attraction? No, I mean they want to see the current champion fight that's contender. So that's what made the fight appetizing. But like I said before, I feel like we're on a better page. Is this the last of me and Dana getting into it? Probably not. He's a very strong-minded person. I'm a strong-minded person. I'm a good businessman. At times there's things that he understands from a production and promotion standpoint that makes more sense for the company. And then from a fighter and my legacy and what my goals are, at times those things are aligned. And hopefully in the future we just can have a adult conversation and we can agree to disagree without all the extras.
Fair enough. What have you made of Colby's media tour over the past few days?
Well, it's funny that Colby had all this shit to say. He had many, many times to fight me. And Dana finally, I'm always getting called out, but for the first time I heard Dana call him out, Colby had chances to fight me in September and other things, and he didn't do it. So I think, you can only fake this fucking act for so long. Eventually people don't see what the real is. And now he thought he ran the show, and I don't think he recognized that they would actually put on a fight without him again. Before he wanted to do the surgery, I think he was trying to wait until November to fight. This time, I think he thought they were bluffing, and they called his bluff. And they said, you know what, this is what we're doing.
So, do you think he just over-negotiated himself?
I think that, to be honest, think about Colby was fighting on UFC Fight Pass in Asia. Nobody even knew who the fuck Colby was. And let's be real, it's not like he just came out the gate and just killed us with fucking victories over Dong Young Kim, Mike Powell, and all these other guys that were washed up. Like, these are guys that I beat a long time ago, in tenderizing for him. So he didn't, come out. Even RDA, RDA's seen better days as a fighter. And, Damian Maia, I fucking gave the rubric to him and Usman on how to beat those guys. So, what has he really done? Did he knock out Robbie Lawler after he was back-to-back fighter of the year? Did he beat Wonder Boy when he was on a 7-fight win streak? Or even Damian Maia when he was on a 7-fight win streak and had takedowns against his last 12 opponents? No, he didn't do those things. He didn't make Tarek Safadine look crazy when he was an up-and-coming prospect, or Paul Daly after he had the best first round I ever saw in Strikeforce against Nick Diaz. This is when I'm fighting these guys. This is when I'm beating these guys, and they don't look well against me. So, long story short, I think it's hilarious. He's trying to get a fucking pity party. Somebody's really gonna come to his rescue. Everybody's laughing at him.
Yeah, he's saying that he's not going to take a fight until they give him a title fight with you. Do you think that's a good strategy by him? Because there's talks of him versus Till.
I just don't think Colby's that good. I don't think he's that good. I think he's tough. I think he has a lot of pressure and cardio. But in this game, tough ain't enough. I don't care if you can go an hour straight. You only got 25 minutes. And then one welterweight in the octagon will outspray me in 25 minutes. I think that if I was the UFC, if they know that I want to fight him and they know that I want to fuck him up, I think they should let him wait. Because if you let him fight a very dangerous Darren Till, he ain't me. Colby Covington ain't gonna hit somebody and make them drop to the canvas. He gonna hit with rabbit punches, and they put him in a position to where he can potentially lose. So what happens if Darren Till beats Colby? Does he rematch me after I just finish him? No. That's messing up. So I'm not telling, once again, it's not my job to promote. But maybe they should just let him just sit there and take the punishment and not make money for a couple months and let me keep fighting and get momentum behind me and then come and get this L.
So that's the plan then.
I really don't want nobody else to fight him because I think he's going to lose. I don't want Ben to fight him. I don't want Till to fight him. I think those guys will beat him, and it'll mess me up for my chance to fight Colby.
That's fair.
Selfishly.
So that's the plan then. Beat Usman and then Colby later on in the year?
Yeah, for sure.